I went to license my car on Friday. So if you are seeing this video on Monday morning, take it as proof that there is a God. World news. You are on fire, the one on fire. This week, US President Joseph Enough Integrity to Regrow His Own Hairline Biden was sworn in on a stack of Bibles. This presented Bahamian audiences with the closest thing to a Junkanoo parade that we are going to see this year. With the Democrats under the theme, characters from a live-action Mortal Kombat series going to the Met Gala. Because they all slayed. We have a new writer. There is so much from the inauguration that we could talk about, but I'm the last person to judge whether Jennifer Lopez or Lady Gaga was the better singer. You are on fire. So I'm gonna stay in my lane and talk about Maya Angelou Jr. Amanda Gorman, the youngest poet laureate, read a poem that moved hearts and lit passions by putting the struggles of her country into soulful verse, which got me thinking, perhaps this is what we've been missing in Bahamian politics. Someone from the arts to make the goals and desires of our nation palatable enough for all to understand and be inspired by. So with that in mind, earlier this week, we put out a call for possible Bahamian poet laureates, and this is what we got.
Bread makes my mouth water. Moist, so wet. When I look at the Bahamas, thick and plump and fat, drown me in your soggy bread ocean. Bahamas.
Good afternoon. Red's father ninja reading for the part of Bahamian poet laureate. I's a Bahamian. Raw. Never been stepped on. Why you giving us street prices when we is 700 rocks and keys? You get it? The rocks and keys, okay. I can see 4K. I need at least 23. Right. Easy. Come on, coming off. What? Come on, coming, right? What? Sorry. Hey.
Our problems are complicated, but we are complicated people. We don't all spend months building and pasting reforming cardboard into mountains glittered with diamonds, only to lose and swear we could take it all. But we understand. We all didn't have Grammys to teach us that duff should be boiled and not baked, and no matter how much rum you put in the sauce, it doesn't cover the fact that it shouldn't feel this way. But we understand and hope that next time you do better. We all don't like our thigh snack fried dry with onions and mayo on the side, but we understand that taste is not prerequisite to family and community, and that if you withhold greatness from yourself, that is your business. We understand. We understand that we all didn't start here, but we are all here now, building and ready to build. So we understand that our problems are complicated, as us, the solutions. Complicated problems are beyond us, but it is going to take everything we know and everything we don't know to Hello? I tell it I wasn't you with that girl. I mean, everyone could have a tattoo that says always your Nikki, you know that's straight on your neck. That's a common tattoo.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Also this week, newly anointed US President Biden signed several executive orders, including one that includes new requirements for travelers to quarantine after arriving to the United States. To which I say, Of course, the angle is concern, and you can interpret concern as on his third pair of clean underpants. This is another hurdle for tourists to jump if they want to visit the Bahamas. But you know what? They have to do what they have to do to protect their country. So I mean, we have been leaning on tourism too hard for too long. At the beginning of this pandemic, everyone was like, "Bae, we gonna need something else." And everyone in the government kept on saying, tourism will see us through. We had nearly a whole year to come up with a plan B. And after all of that time, the government has seemed to only manage to scribble the word tourism with a crayon that they found under the couch. And as many times as the news has caught Dionisio Diagula nervously trying to reassure us that everything's gonna be okay, this isn't his fault. I mean, he is doing the best he can with zero tourists. It's the other cabinet ministers that I have to blame, except for Michael Pintard. I mean, he looked like he's doing something, but that's a different episode. Does this mean that I'm no longer going to make fun of Dino when he says something silly on the news? Of course not. Locally, one of the biggest stories last week was Paul Rule, Commissioner of Police, saying...
And so they don't tell us quite why they commit suicide. And in some cases, you know, they may leave a note, or family members may say that they were... What I can tell you is we had a few of those that we know were domestic related, where, you know, fellas are weak and they kill themselves because they were having issues with their females.
You know what? At first I was mad. I mean, this isn't the first time the commissioner has said something that made me stare confusingly at my neighbor's television through their window. Like the time when people were asking whether or not a person who has gotten a citation for violating the emergency order, perhaps from selling coconuts or getting water from the pump, would have that citation reflected on their police record.
The persons who receive the tickets today, they have a pay period. If they pay within that period, then there's no record.
So it's only a crime if I can't pay for it then. Sound like broke nigga problems. Still, when it comes to his weak man comments, it's difficult for me to take him to task, because I mean, like, honestly, does the average Bahamian think about topics like mental health and suicide at all? And before I say something dumb, I thought it would be best to ask a professional. Sorry, one second. Let me just get a chair. So, we have with us Dr. E.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so Dr. E, can you tell us what it is that you do?
I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. So I see clients from all ages, from 6 to over 70, on different issues: depression, anxiety, couples counseling.
I'm glad you brought up depression. As you know, the Commissioner of Police said some things this week, and a lot of people have questions on depression and what exactly it is and how can it be addressed. I have a couple of suggestions from the Bahamian public, ways to handle depression. All right, you can just tell me yes or no if these make sense to you, okay?
Okay.
1, you tell them to stop being sad all the time.
Don't do that.
Okay, drugs and alcohol.
Stay away from those.
All right, what if you just ignore it?
It won't go away.
Pray it away?
Jesus comes to those who help themselves.
What if I firmly tell them to man up, regardless of their gender?
Well, I never knew that manning up would cause depression to go away, but I guess it's worth a
What if we just say
try.
it like in a firm voice, like a very loud voice?
No, I still don't think that works very well.
So what should a person do if they know somebody who's struggling with depression, or they themselves are struggling with depression? What should be done?
They should first develop a strong support network. They should try to improve their sleep. If they're not sleeping enough, try to get more sleep. If they're sleeping too little, try to get restful sleep. They should develop good nutrition. They should reduce their stress levels. They should try to keep up with their regular routine as much as possible. Simply as getting outside and taking a walk can all be healthy ways to cope with depression. And when in doubt, always get some professional help. What can cause depression would be some genetic issues, meaning like you have a genetic history of it in your family. You could also have, at different times in the month, especially for women, you could have different levels in your chemicals, which can cause more depressive symptoms. There could have been a traumatic event that has happened in your life, from a car accident to an abusive situation to intimate partner violence. There could also be loss of a loved one or some other loss of event, because we know each person is different and each person's resiliency level is different. It does not look the same in everybody.
If a person needs help inside this area, who and where could they reach out to?
If they're feeling very, very depressed, they can reach out to the suicide hotline, which is 322-2763, or they can call one of the psychological association hotlines as well. They can even reach out to my office, and we will send them in the right way if we can't help them ourselves, because we know everybody needs a little help sometime.
That was very helpful. This is usually people hang up on these calls, but I appreciate you for sticking with us through the entirety of this call.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. Glad you could stop by. You know, I think a common bond that we all have is our shared hatred for COVID-19. I think we all hate COVID more than when you're single and finally on the market, but you realize. So everybody pregnant then? But despite all the hate for the virus, not everyone knows how to slow the spread. So what do we mean when we say sanitize? Basically, the virus is allergic to things that keep things clean. Get your disinfectants and your bleach and constantly wipe down high traffic areas. But what about your body? No, do not drink that. Do not drink that. As a human being, you can only sanitize the outside of your body. So every time you get a chance, you need to sanitize your hands, because although it doesn't look like it, the truth of the matter is you touch a lot of stuff. And COVID can be on your hands right now. So do not touch your face, please. Oh, don't touch your face. This is why it is so important to sanitize your hands with alcohol or alcohol-based hand sanitizers when you enter and exit public places. But what if there's no alcohol around? What do you kill the virus with then? Then we go back to good old-fashioned hand washing. Washing your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds will get rid of any lingering virus on your hands. If only it could take away the dark emptiness in your soul. Anyway, how long is 20 seconds? It's 20 seconds. It's a unit of time. You're measuring time already. So you know what? It is as long as it takes to sing all the parts of Independence Morning by Priscilla Rollins that you know. So basically just the chorus. Here we go. Independence morning, it's like a baby born in. Independence morning, it's like a baby born in. Okay, so finally, last week, after much complaints and demands from the public, there were further loosening of the COVID-19 restrictions by the government, but not all persons were happy. One such person, Brian Charles, joins us to discuss his concerns. Welcome, Brian.
Good afternoon.
So let's get right to it, Brian. What is your primary issue with these new freedoms being returned to the public?
Well, you see, the biggest one for me is this reopening of outdoor dining from 6 to 9 on Sunday. By trying to save money right now, it's like freedom even ain't free no more. See, I done tell my girl, who I've been seeing for 2 years. Men say we can't go out to eat, you see. But now that this happened, I ain't got no excuse.
I mean, but aren't you happy that this is a return to some level of normalcy?
No, because what you forgetting, men has also raised the amount of people allowed at weddings to like 20. I already tell my fiance at 12 years, I ain't getting married unless all my cousins could come. So unless I could find like 4 or 5 more cousins, that excuse going out the window. If you got some cousins where I could borrow, like you like help a brother out, you know.
I'm confused.
Me too. Why men is destroying homes like this? Why? What I can tell my girlfriend, who I've been for 8 years. I've been with her for 8 years. Why I ain't come to see her on Sunday?
Wait. Is it Is she your girlfriend for 2 years, 12 years, or 8 years? I mean,
No, man, these three different people. And yeah, the point is, I need to spend some time with my family. My wife and children, I need to spend time with them. Sundays is my day to do that. I work hard all week, you see. I need to do that on Sundays.
I don't know. I don't know what to say to that.
I just get a text. Apparently, all of them find out about each other. They can kill me. Once again, the competent authority ruined my life. They wasn't gonna do this if all of them couldn't come to the funeral. You see what I saying? They wasn't gonna do that.
Why? Okay, I'll make it short this time. The song is live. Just click the Ko-fi link in the bio or in the comments. Also, it's free. But you do have to put a number there. So, I mean, you could just put like $0 and it'll just ask you your name and an email, then you can download it. However, if you feel so inclined, you can totally put actual money there as well. Also, like, share, and follow us on all the platforms.